My name is Lou Caruso. I'm the chairman of the Gallery of Achievement for the Brecksville Broadview Heights High School Alumni Association. And besides this being an opportunity for all of you to get out of the class, the reason that you're here is the Gallery of Achievement is to honor past graduates and faculty that have distinguished themselves through community service, personal development, and vocational accomplishments. Brecksville Broadview Heights High School graduates have been given the tools to be good citizens, and teachers have been there to give way beyond what is expected in the classroom. These people are role models, they're contributors to their community. Each year, we take nominations throughout the entire year. There's a committee of 7 that get together that's comprised of the Brecksville Chamber of Commerce, the Broadview Heights Chamber of Commerce, the Brecksville Broadview Heights Schools Foundation, and the Alumni Association that go through these nominees and make a selection as to who should be recognized. So we welcome these people here today. We're so glad to have all of them here and their sponsors. You'll hear what they did and what impact that they had beyond their own occupation. And these are things that the seeds were planted when they were in the seats right where you are as students of Brecksville Broadview Heights High School. So today we will be recognizing faculty member Jim Reutz, community member Greg Skaljak, faculty member Chuck Valley, classmate Jerry Gunner, and classmate Richard Packard. So to get things started, our first inductee is going to be Jim Reutz. And to present him is going to be his longtime friend, Bob Consiglio. Bobby?
Thank you, Lou. It is my pleasure to give you a little background of Jim Reutz. He was born in Cleveland, Ohio, and grew up in Wickliffe. He attended Wickliffe City Schools and graduated from Wickliffe High School. After high school, he worked a couple of years and attended a few classes at Cleveland State. Then he enrolled at Youngstown State University in the Dana School of Music. Upon college graduation, his first teaching job was in the South Euclid-Lyndhurst School District, where he taught for 9 years. After that, he came to Brecksville Broadview Heights School System, where he was chairperson of the music department, teaching marching band, symphonic band, wind ensemble, music theory, and music appreciation. He also started what is currently known as the Brecksville Broadview Heights Community Band, which his intention was for it to be a one-time parent-teacher band, but had so much participation and joy from playing that one time, became an ongoing community band, which I'm proud to be a member of, and I can tell you that we're starting our 30th season with that band. He moved to Broadview Heights with his wife Diane and 2 children, Jennifer and Christina, who also graduated from Brecksville Broadview Heights. He retired from teaching in 2005 and then moved to Sarasota, Florida. He continues to play percussion in several bands in the Sarasota area in Florida, with his wife Diane, who plays a very mean trumpet. I have to give you one quick story about Jim. My first close personal encounter with Jim was when my daughter was at orientation for marching band when she was first starting high school. And I was sitting out in the band room and looked over to a participant, a fellow band parent, and asked, "Can I volunteer to go to band camp with the band?" Nobody, I guess no parent had ever thought of doing that. She grabbed me by the arm and dragged me. Mr. Reutz, this crazy parent wants to go to band camp." And from there, our friendship grew, and I'm proud to announce to you, Mr. Jim Reutz.
Thank you, Bob. First of all, I'd like to thank the Alumni Association for nominating me for this Gallery of Achievement. I am so honored to have been selected for this award. For me, it began in 7th grade general music class. And one day, the junior high band director came into our class and said, "How many of you would like to join band?" Well, being a shy kid at the time, I'm amazed even to this day that my hand went up. And that was the start of it. It was probably one of the best things that I had ever done because it set the course for the rest of my life. The reason I bring it up is to impress upon you that the seemingly smallest action can affect your entire life, and that can be good or it can be bad. In my case, it was wonderful. It was the best thing that I had ever done at that point. As I was growing up, there was always music and a love for music in our family, but it wasn't until I joined the 7th grade band at that time that my passion for music began to grow. And it continued to grow all throughout junior high school and high school, and it was probably, I was about your age, junior or senior, when somebody asked me to start giving private lessons on drums. And I started doing that, and then I suddenly began to get a passion for teaching as well. So the combination of passion for music and a passion for teaching set the course of my life. Like Bob said, after graduation, I worked at the South Euclid Lyndhurst City Schools at Rush High School. I worked there for 9 years. I taught marching band and also in the junior high school in that school district. The day I was hired here, I remember, was probably one of the greatest days of my life. During my 21 years here at BBHHS, my students, their parents, and I created some wonderful lifelong memories and lasting friendships, as many of you are doing right now by being involved in sports, musical groups, clubs, and community activities. Some of my fondest personal memories include being a part of a talented and dedicated teaching staff here at BBHHS. The opportunity to be able to work with my very good friend Chuck Valley, who we go back many, many years. Working with Parents Band Boosters organization, having a very supportive high school administration, and being involved with the planning of the music facilities here at the high school when it was being built. But my fondest memories are with my students. Some of those memories we created together include working really hard for band contests, solo and ensemble contests, watching and supporting our B sports teams at pep rallies and at their games, directing the pit orchestra at 20 of our spring musicals over the years, 6 Florida trips with appearances at the Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom parades. We were selected to march at the Cherry Blossom Festival Parade in Washington, D.C., performances at the Liberty Bowl Classic in Memphis, Tennessee, and performances at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia, where our band won first place in the field show competition and was selected the best band in the Peach Bowl Parade. There were hundreds of concerts, parades, and community performances here in Brecksville, Broadview Heights, and throughout the greater Cleveland area that also enhanced just wonderful memories of my students, their parents who were loads of help, and I couldn't have done it without them. The reason we were able to accomplish so many wonderful memories and friendships is because our students were willing to work extremely hard together to achieve any goal that was put in front of them. I wish all of you the very best during your remaining years here at BBHHS and down the road. Good luck to all of you. And I will leave you with a saying that an old friend of mine used over and over again. Do what you love and love what you do, and chances are you are going to live a very happy life. Thank you very much, and go Bees.
Our next inductee is a 1991 graduate of Brecksville Broadview Heights High School. He's a good friend of mine. We served on the city council together for many, many years. His name is Greg Skaljak, and here to present him today is John Varyak. John?
Good morning. I'm not sure how one speaks about the accomplishments of a person where it doesn't sound like a resume for a job, which he certainly doesn't need, or a funeral oration because he's sitting here today. But I want to talk to you about the many fine qualities of Greg Skaljak that exemplifies the qualities which are required for the Gallery of Achievement of service to the community and the schools, both Brecksville and Broadview Heights. I first got to know Greg as an 8th grader when he was introduced to me. We both had a love for the game of basketball, and I watched him as an 8th grader play with great intensity. And as he moved on to the junior high, to the senior high, those skills improved and the intensity increased, and he established himself with his fine work ethic and eventually became captain of the team for a couple of years. Greg was fortunate as he was nurtured throughout his life by his loving grandparents, his parents, Dan and Mary Ann, and maintained a very, very tight bond with his sister Missy. After graduation, Greg went on to attend Miami University, and like many graduates of this school, returned to their roots and came back to Brecksville or Broadview Heights. He entered into the field of insurance with his father's agency and worked there very diligently, and along the way, he moved up the ranks and again established himself as a leader and has become the president of that organization at the present time. Along the way, he met and eventually married his lovely bride, Stella, and they reared 3 fine young men, Eli, Luke, and Stephen, in whom Greg, I believe, has instilled a love of basketball as they became and become valued members of the Bees program. On top of this, Greg had to balance family responsibilities with work and other endeavors. And for some God-known reason why, he decided to run for Brecksville City Council. and he served for 3 terms, where again, his leadership qualities were recognized, and he became president of council for his last 2 terms. As council person, I believe he served his constituents well throughout the growth of the community, and he worked to improve the city's services, too numerous to mention, but the only one I will mention is the construction of the outdoor-indoor water park. And somewhere along the way, after his 3rd term, after probably innumerable phone calls of complaints for one reason or another, which I'm sure council members get, he decided that it was time for him to leave. At this same time, he used his time with the service to the school district by serving on various levy campaigns, one of which resulted in the construction of this building. And he has maintained his work in the schools as he works each year in collaboration with the business department to instruct students on the ins and outs of insurance for their futures. Also in this context, he serves as the youth sports coach from 2007 to 2020, and he became the originator and the director of the Bees Travel Basketball Youth Tournament from 2017 to the present. In these capacities, he attempts to emphasize service to the communities in which they reside, skill building, teamwork, and a willingness to work hard to achieve these goals. On a personal note, he and I have maintained a 30-plus year friendship, and I have grown to appreciate his thoughtfulness, his insights, sense of humor, and as far as his sense of humor is concerned, I've been on the receiving end of many of his personal shots. Greg truly typifies that which the Gallery of Achievement is intended to embody of service to the school and the total communities of Brecksville and Broadview Heights. And it is personal pride that we recognize this fine man to the Gallery of Achievement for 2023, and I believe he has much more to offer in the future. So congratulations, Greg Skaljak.
Thank you, Mr. Doria, for your introduction, and I'm honored to have you present me for induction today. It's hard to believe that as an 8th grader, back in the fall of 1986, I was introduced to you, and it was so long ago, both of us had a lot more hair, and you actually were allowed to smoke your pipe in school. So that tells you how much things have changed in 35 years. And that was the start of a lifelong friendship and mentorship that I cherish deeply to this day. I'd like to thank the Alumni Association, the Gallery of Achievement Selection Committee, and Mr. Jacob for this very special recognition. It's truly humbling, and I'm honored to be inducted along with our other members today and to join so many friends, colleagues, teachers, and coaches in the Gallery of Achievement. We've all been asked to speak to you today about achievement and success. Whenever I think about my roles as a son, a brother, husband, father, business owner, city councilman, volunteer, or coach, I've always been guided by my 6 core values, and the results and successes have followed. The most important of these core values are integrity and respect. And without question, my parents are the most important teachers of these values. And I owe everything to them. So thank you, Mom and Dad. Integrity is the compass that guides us through life's challenges, and it starts with being true to ourselves. When we uphold our values, even in the face of adversity, we build a reputation of reliability and honesty. The world values those who stand by their principles and make choices that align with their beliefs. Success built upon integrity is not just a fleeting achievement, but a legacy that lasts. Respect is like the cornerstone of a strong building. It forms the foundation upon which relationships are built. The journey to success begins with the respect you show towards yourself, your peers, your teachers, and everyone else around you. By treating others with kindness, empathy, and understanding, you create an environment where positivity and achievement will thrive. We're all born with the next core value, the ability to listen. We all have the perfect ratio, 2 ears, 1 mouth. So listen twice as much as you speak. Listen to what your friends, teachers, coaches, co-workers, and family have to say. And just for a couple of minutes each day, put your phone down and listen to what your parents and elders have to offer. Because believe it or not, they do know more than you on some topics. I was so fortunate to have had as a teacher and a coach another Gallery of Achievement member, the late Ralph DeSantis, or Coach D to many in town. Coach D instilled the core value of teamwork. No one truly succeeds alone. Behind every great achievement is a team that worked together relentlessly, pooling their talents and efforts to achieve a common goal. Just like in a sports team, each player has a unique role to play, and their success is interdependent on the success of the team as a whole. When you learn to work alongside others, you multiply the group's strengths, filling in each other's weaknesses and achieving heights you could never reach alone. In virtually every aspect of my life, I've always been someone who takes an active role in my next core value, that of leadership. I was honored to serve as a Brecksville City Councilman for 12 years and to earn what I believe was a doctorate in this core value from fellow Gallery of Achievement member, Mayor Jerry Ruby. Leadership is not about a title. It's about taking responsibility and inspiring others to reach their full potential. It's about the impact you have on those around you. True leaders lead by example, guided with vision, passion, and determination. True leadership involves being a role model by practicing what you preach and demonstrating the values you hold dear. It's about accepting the blame when things go wrong and passing along praise and credit to others when things go well. And my final guiding principle is this: give back. Success is not measured solely by personal or individual achievements, but by the positive impact you make on the lives of others and your community. As you climb the ladder of success, remember to reach back, extend a helping hand to those who may be struggling. Engaging in acts of kindness, volunteering, giving back to your community not only makes your community a better place, but will also provide you with a sense of purpose and fulfillment that material success alone cannot provide. As you all chart your life's course, hopefully some of these values will be a part of your journey towards success and fulfillment. Finally, and certainly most importantly, I want to thank my wife Stella, our boys Eli, Luke, and Stephen for sharing life's wild ride together. You four are by far and away my life's greatest achievement and success. So thank you very much, and good luck to all of you.
Our next inductee is another faculty member, and along with Mr. Jim Royce, Mr. Chuck Valley was like the tag team with these two individuals serving at Brecksville Broadview Heights High School at the same time. Here to introduce Mr. Chuck Valley is Steve Cocciolo.
Chuck Valley has been a music educator for 35 years, 25 of which has been here at Brecksville Broadview Heights High School. He's one of the first people I met here along with Susan Welsh when I got the job almost 20 years ago. There's many a story we can tell about Chuck, which for the students they would love to hear because it gets you out of class longer. But I'm going to try to make this very short, and hopefully Chuck will do the same. Many of the traditions that we have here still in the music program, from band and also from orchestra, are because of these two gentlemen right here. And I want to thank the committee personally for having not only both of them into the Gallery of Achievement, but putting them in together. To me, that's really cool, and on behalf of all of our current music staff, this is really warming our hearts to see this. Many of the traditions, like I said, that Chuck has instilled in us, is great about practicing hard, making sure we're doing the right thing at all the times, doing the trips that we have been to New York and Chicago and to Gatlinburg, and even currently for the chamber kids, the wind ensemble kids, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra music we're working on is because of Chuck Valley. He's been more than a mentor to me. He's inspired thousands of students and adults, and he's been one of my closest friends for the last 20 years. So please help me welcome Mr. Chuck Valley to the stage.
I guess you were thinking about that last comment, or that one comment, when I was about 11 or 12 years, I was standing in the same spot giving a speech that will go down in infamy because it lasted an hour. Don't worry, I'm staying under today. Thank you, Steve, for the wonderful introduction, and thank you for being such a wonderful friend and colleague as well. I would like to thank the Gallery of Achievement Committee, the BBHHS Alumni Association for inducting me into this very prestigious gallery. I'm very thankful and very humbled to be sharing the stage with these fine, wonderful inductees and all the inductees that have been a part of this. They're certainly all great people. I also want to take this opportunity to thank one of my lifetime friends, Jim Reitz, who more than anyone else was responsible for not only for me coming here, but also for helping me build that choir program, the orchestra program, while still building his incredible band program. I'd like to thank another colleague of mine. Actually, I thank all my colleagues, but I'd like to acknowledge my wife, Phil, or Mrs. Valley, who's known to many. She's a tremendous piano player, and she's just love of my life, and I can say that with all sincerity. She also was a colleague. She used to accompany my freshman choir here at the high school, and she shared a lot of, not only did she help in that way, but she shared a lot of life lessons with the girls in freshman choir, because often we'd split up the girls and the boys, and those lessons had a lot to do with smart shopping and efficient shopping. And I was always wondering why we had so many girls in freshman choir. But speaking of life lessons, and that's what leads me into this, I'd like to share some of the things that I've learned in regards to success. I'll start by saying this: success is not just talent or hard work. It's about habits we cultivate in our lives. The habits not only drive successful careers, but also make us successful in our own humanity. And these are the things that a lot have already been brought up, especially like community service and serving others. To serve is one of the greatest responsibilities and also one of the greatest tasks that we can take on. Always be open to that. Always be open to that. And the other thing, excuse me, I skipped the page here. Oh, you're all happy about that. I'm sorry. This is very, okay, there we go. But some of the habits, I'm not going to read all these, but they're like passion, optimism, persistence, creativity, self-discipline, desire to improve, a commitment to learn. And maybe the most important, to develop strong relationships. And as much as you can, surround yourself with people who are positive. That'll make a big difference in your life. Believe me, that will make a big difference in your life. A few days ago, I happened to come across an item known as a mosaic picture. Most of you have seen these. There are a lot of little tiny pictures of people, and as you back away from the picture, or from the people, it creates a picture. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, it really is a fascinating thing. It takes a lot of work, I imagine, to put together. It's at that point I realized that the mosaic picture was a great symbolic representation of how so many people who have we've met, all of us, along our life's journey, have touched us in such a positive way. like supporting us, challenging us to be better, inspiring and motivating and teaching us. In other words, as the little pictures help to shape our big picture, the individuals who touch our lives help to shape us as people. And going through this the last couple of weeks, I realized, I went back and it flooded through me, all the people that have affected my life. And it would be exactly like that mosaic. You see my head there, if you get close, you can see all those people that have touched my life. And I'll go on to say, if you have one piece missing, the mosaic's incomplete. So therefore, there are no insignificant pictures in the mosaic, and there are no significant people in our lives. All are important. And the special frame, by the way, too, we are a part of other people's mosaics as well. The special frame that the mosaic is mounted on will be necessary to hold the pictures in place and will keep the mosaic picture from falling apart. The better the frame, the better the mosaic. My expressions of gratitude would not be complete without mentioning this. In my life, my frame, the foundation of my mosaic, has been my faith in God and my only Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not talking religion. I'm talking reality. This is not a religious thing, I'm telling you. Something that's spiritual, it's a reality to me. And I know this to be true. And if I had a lot of time, I would give you examples. But it's not about that. It's not about me. Right now, it's about everybody who's touched my life. So as I receive this wonderful recognition, I am receiving it on behalf of every single person, starting with my family and followed by my friends, colleagues, and fellow educators, my former students, and so many others who make up my mosaic. Every one of them is invested in, and owns a piece of this plaque, this award, this recognition. And I sincerely thank them all. And I would like to mention some of the wonderful things, but I really do want to keep to the schedule. And but some of the great things that we've done with the kids, the students, have been everything from going down and singing at the Veterans Hospital. Used to be here on Route 21, singing at St. John's Cathedral, singing the largest cathedral in the world, Gothic cathedral in the world, and singing Carmina Burana. Everybody knows one song out of that, O Fortuna. And what a fabulous experiences, but a lot of those experiences were geared to servicing our community. And again, you're going to hear that emphasized a lot, I'm sure. And finally, I'll end with this. To my friends and colleagues, I only hope that I've given you the same support and encouragement that you have given me. I'm Italian. I cry. To my friends, to my incredible students, I only hope that I have inspired you as much as you inspired me. I only hope that I've motivated you as much as you have motivated me. And I only hope that I have taught you as much as you have taught me. And most importantly, to my family, the joy of my life. I only hope that I have and will continue to always give you the same support, encouragement, and most of all, love that you have given me. I wish you all the best in your life journey. Remember, check that mosaic out. Thank those people that are part of your mosaic. And I wish you all the greatest success. Thank you to this wonderful gallery of achievement, and God bless you all.
Our next inductee goes back a few years. Mr. Jerry Gunner graduated in the class of 1957. And he made quite an impact on his community outside of Brecksville, but is a legend where he lives, and here to introduce him today is Mr. Jerry Rostowski.
Good morning. I nominated Jerry Gunner to the Lifetime Achievement Hall of Fame for one particular reason. For 62 consecutive years, he has provided service to his city of Medina. Completing his military service, he came home to the city of Medina where his folks had moved while he was in the military. He immediately joined the auxiliary police force and simultaneously started coaching Little League Baseball. But his favorite sport was football. When his sons came of that age to play Pee Wee football, he started coaching, and coaching he did. He coached for 25 years. And during those 25 years, he filled any job in the organization that needed filled. He was property manager. He and his wife orchestrated the concession stands, and he also sat on the board of the Pee Wee football organization. For his dedication to the sports of football and baseball, the Medina County Sports Hall of Fame elected him to their halls. In that 25 years, he joined the Odd Fellows. The Odd Fellows being an organization of gentlemen who gathered to seek the needs of its community, city, and or its residents. And one thing that they do at Christmas time is they seek out needy children. And each child is assigned to an odd fellow, and they go shopping for clothes. And it's my understanding that they can only shop for clothes because it's their bylaws that money can only be spent for clothes and not toys. But before the odd fellow takes his charge home, he reaches into his pocket and takes a youngster into the toy store to buy a little bit of Christmas for him. The cemetery was in need of maintenance, and the odd fellows saw that. And they chose, and they gathered at the children's section of the cemetery on the last Saturday before Memorial Day to raise and level the headstones, plant flowers, trim shrubs, and cut the grass. With that, the odd fellows are done, but not Mr. Gunner. Mr. Gunner, on a need-to-do basis, will put his lawnmower in the back of his car, go to the children's section of the cemetery, and cut grass. What else did the odd fellows do? I've lost my place. No, I take it back. Okay, they, well, and for his dedication to the Odd Fellows, his membership has inaugurated a Jerry Gunner Scholarship last year. Cemetery was a benefactor of a large sum of money, and an organization was formed called the Friends of the Cemetery. Mr. Gunner, being a fixture of the cemetery, or at the cemetery, joined the organization, and they've done some marvelous things. I'd like to introduce to you my friend. We met last year for the first time in the first grade, 78 years ago. Mr. Gunner, 84 years of age, belongs to two service organizations, and I see no quit in him. Mr. Gunner, please come up.
Takes a little time to get up here. Would you mind if I take my coat off and get more comfortable? I need to be in a comfort zone because I don't need to talk to people.
it just didn't seem that Jerry Gunner should be standing up there. But since then, after people talked to me and said, you know, you belong up there. I said, okay. So now I'm excited, right? So I called my hairdresser and I made an appointment for yesterday at noon, so I would look sharp today and get a half a haircut. But what I would like to do is take you back a few years. Most of you young folks in this audience don't know what used to be at the corner of Wallings and Broadview on the northeast corner. There was a grocery store with 11 rooms above, and there was a Shell gas station. Now you have, I believe it's a Rite Aid drugstore on that corner. When we moved to Brecksville, Broadview Heights, my age was 7. And it was a family grocery store, so everybody had to work. So that's when my work days started, when I was 7. I bagged 100-pound bags of potatoes into 10-pound and 5-pound bags. And I used a milk carton to stand on so I could read the scale. And after I did that, we did the same thing with 50-pound bags of onions. And that was the worst, because if you ever had a rotten onion in your hand, it's terrible. So at the age of 7, I started working. I worked after school, after football, cut meat on Saturday morning, sometimes on crutches, twice. But it's okay, because my dad expected me to be there. And way back then, I learned 2 words. Well, more than 2, but thank you and can I help you? And that stuck with me all my life. So as we go through this journey, I'm saying thank you to the people that have helped me be up here today. And that's the Oddfellows. If they just raise their hand, the ones that are here today. And the Friends of the Cemetery, if you raise your hands. And then there's George and Roy. We announced all the freshmen, and George announces the freshman games, and I spot and Roy spots. We've been doing that for many years. We all go back to youth football, and that's way back. And anyway, we get there, and then also in the audience is Tracy Rose. And what happened is, when I got to be 60, they hired me and trusted me to oversee 24 buildings in the city of Medina. And that was really big. So I retired from work 3 years ago, and I was 81 years old. And at that time, they took me down to the Liberty Road where there was a conference room. And I walked up the steps, and it says Jerry Gunner Conference Room. Before it just said conference room. And that was really sort of neat, you know. Things happen to you like that through your life, and it's just sort of neat to know that people notice when you do good things. And I've tried very hard all my life to live by the thank you and can I help you. And getting involved in the community. When I first got involved with baseball, there was a gentleman coaching the team. He's all by himself. So I said, can I help you? He said yes. From then on, I coached baseball, coached youth football, and I love youth football. I can tell you stories about youth football till your bell rings and you gotta go back to class. But I'm not gonna do that. But I do want to tell you one thing. When I was in the store shopping one day, this young gentleman says, hey coach. And I turn around and here's this 9 and 10-year-old kid that's 24 now, and he's 6'4", and he looks like he lifts weights. And he has his own business of running a fix-it shop, and he does fix-it stuff. Anyway, this kid says to me, he says, you know, coach, I got him when he was 9. he was sort of going in the wrong direction. And he was from a single-family home, and so anyway, he stayed in the program all the way to 13. And the coaches, all of them worked with him. And he says to me, if it wouldn't have been for you and all the coaches in youth football, the Colts, I'd have probably been in jail. You know how much that's worth? That's worth millions of dollars to me. Just to have a young person tell you that, it hits you right here. And it's good, Then the Friends of the Cemetery, we got lucky and inherited a man's ranch in Texas. And it was worth a few bucks. And we spent maybe $1.5 million, and we still have the principal from the money we got from this gentleman. And I'm the trustee of the Friends of the Cemetery. And we're a very frugal group, but we help maintain the cemetery. The baby section that Jersey talked about, the baby section was under weeds. You couldn't even see the tombstones. We took a blade in there to clean off the weeds, and we hit stones. And then we realized that there was tombstones. So we got that all fixed up, and a few years later we added another section, built a wall. The Friends of the Cemetery, they donated $35,000 to pay for the wall, and we were able to put this wall up. The week after we put the wall up, we had a work party to plant 185 foot of boxwood hedges, and it rained. It rained so hard, we all were soaked. There's 20 guys. The guy in charge says, at noon, he says, anybody want to go home? Because we're going to finish this job today. And everybody stayed. When you push the wheelbarrow, the wheel didn't turn, the mud you pushed it through the mud. But we got it done. And we've only lost 2 hedges in 10 years or 8 years. So, I think that I've spoken long enough. But just keep in mind, thank you, and can I help? And you'll be so busy helping other people, being a part of the program. It's just amazing. I also want to thank my wife and my family who are sitting here, my 3 boys, my daughter's working, and my grandson's here. And it's just sort of neat. My wife decided to take the day off. She's in rehab where she broke her femur bone in her leg Friday, or last Thursday. So she had surgery on Friday. And it went good. But, doing all this stuff over the years, it took away from time at home. And my wife and family were all very supportive of that. And I think that if you don't have that support, you can't make it. And like the previous speaker said, you have to surround yourself with good people. And I've been very fortunate all my life to have good people around. And you just can't say enough about having good people. So, with that being said, thank you to the committee for allowing me to be up here and electing me. And thank you for all taking the time to listen to me today. Thank you very much.
We have one more inductee, and before I bring them up, I just wanted to thank you all for your attention to the wisdom and the stories that these inductees have shared with you today. You can see that they all involve volunteering, a dedication to their communities, and to their families. So we certainly think that those are things that you will be able to take away from today. Our last inductee is Mr. Richard Packard, class of '64. And here to present him is his son, Scott Packard. Scott?
Good morning. My name is Scott Packard. I am also an alumni of Brecksville, 1987. I do want to congratulate all the nominees. Most of them have had major impacts in my life, so I'm honored to be here for all of them, as well as my father. I am honored and privileged today to introduce my father, Richard Packard. My father was born and raised in Brecksville, graduated in 1964, and was married to Linda in 1965, who would be here by his side like she always has, step by step, but unfortunately she's unable to today. I want to thank my son and the school for recording this, so she has a chance to watch this ceremony as well. My father owned and operated a family business, Packard Hardware, in Brecksville, started in 1934 by his father, Austin, who was also a 1930 graduate of Brecksville High School. He's always been dedicated to serve the public, from the family business to volunteering for anything, to, according to the residents and businesses around, the man who fixed everything, even if he had to make his own parts. To a man who almost gave his life for helping another in an accident. A man who always gave back. My father was a major contributor or starter in some cases to many civic activities, including Brecksville Businessmen's Association, which turned into the Chamber of Commerce and the Merchants Association, to Boy Scout Troop 175 and their annual fertilizer sales, which he warehoused all these bags of fertilizer at our house. To Brecksville Town Center and working with the city for storefront revitalization of the downtown and their annual Gala Balls. To Brecksville Days at Geauga Lake. Most people don't understand that. It's a blast. But it was an annual event by the city and for the school system. And of course, the school system is an active booster. The band booster went on many trips, Peach Bowl, Quebec, when we were in the band. And of course, volunteer and fundraiser donations, just to name a few things. A man who's always been the forefront of ideas and getting things accomplished to better the community and better himself and better us as family. But never wanted to be in the spotlight for anything, never take credit for all of the achievements that he has completed. I am honored, privileged, can't say enough, to introduce my father, Mr. Richard Packard.
I'm not much of a speaker, but I want to thank the Alumni Association and the gallery for nominating me for this great achievement. Over the years, with working with the school, the city, and my family backing me for everything that we did, along with band boosters and everything, I am very tickled that I got this achievement. And again, my family has backed me all the way. Scott has been great with everything that I've done with the city. And again, thank you everybody that has nominated me for this great achievement. Thank you very much.
Let's have one more round of applause for all of our. To our soon-to-be graduates, I hope you took away some valuable threads that went through each and every one of those speeches. Through the halls of Drexel-Broadview Heights High School walk the very finest. And each one of these men sitting up here today are the very embodiment of that. Several of you sitting in the audience today will, in the future, be in their place. They have left a legacy of excellence, and most importantly, service. Do not wait to start making your impact and leaving your legacy. Each and every one of you have the ability to positively impact your school and, most importantly, your families. Don't wait. Start today. Make it a great day. Go Bees, and thank you for being here today.
No, I would be, it would be hard to like.